What up? What up? Late Night Live. This is episode 33. And we got the whole panel with us tonight. Hey, to my right, I got Ace of Jacks Media Grounds. Chris, how are you, sir?
Good. Here for another
And
Friday night of fun discussions.
let's do it. To your right, we have Travis. How are you, sir?
Doing well. Good to see everybody.
Yeah. Down in the bottom left, 8-bit gaming legend, Dathan. How are you, sir?
Good evening, class. Can't wait to hear the soundboard from hell like we do every week. But
Yeah, here it goes.
yeah, it was the peer pressure a-hole. That's what.
Oh, I got another one.
I love it. Stupid. I hate this one. Stupid. I hate this one. Yeah, it was the peer pressure a-hole. That's what.
All right. Gosh, calm down, please. All right, and to your right, we got Eric. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. Thanks.
Good. So,
Eric, you're looking good.
I'm feeling good.
Looking dapper, buddy.
Yeah. Today's a good day.
Yeah, I think you're all right. The one can off the one ear versus the other is kind of
Yeah, is that the asymmetry bothers you?
Yeah, I'm not sure on that.
Oh, and hey, Meatball Saucy's in the chat. Where have you been, bro? We missed you. You took a longer absence than I think Eric did. We're glad to have you back, Meatball. Tonight should be a jam-packed show. Chris and I went and saw Alien Romulus last night, and my camera's shaking. Stop that.
No spoilers.
Yeah. So we'll go into our non-spoilerish talk about it. I thought it was an interesting movie to talk about. I like movies that make you think, and it was a very enjoyable movie. I want to talk about, there was a couple new game announcements this week, just a couple. I thought it was a little light on the gaming news, but we'll get into some of it. There was some information about Gamescom in Germany coming out next week, and a new title for the Evercade, which I thought was really interesting. So, did you guys play any video games last week? Let's start off with that. Chris, any video games?
NES World Championship. I also started playing one that I'd bought on the Switch a while ago called Deep Sky Derelicts, which Eric, you might actually like if you like Darkest Dungeon. It's
Mhm.
just it's a space version of that essentially.
Oh, cool. Like Cosmic
Um,
Core?
Yeah. And then I bought one that came out today called Castaway that looked like it was a Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening style game and beat it in 15 minutes. So that was a fun $8 down the drain.
So was it worth the $8?
I, if there's more to it, maybe, but yeah, $8 was kind of like I was expecting at least an hour, maybe two, not 15 minutes, which really made me laugh because IGN put up a 8-minute gameplay trailer for it.
Hmm.
So
Interesting.
you probably get all the game there, but yeah.
Hey, Dathan, do you have the Bruce Campbell's book signed? You can show me, Paul.
Yes, I do. I got both of them.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, way back in the day.
right. I mean, I forget where we went, but for the first one, but we met Bruce Campbell in Portland,
It was at the Hollywood Theater.
Hollywood Theater. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got a book signed, and I shook his hand. I said I'm a big fan.
Yep.
Meatball Saucy, I played the Contra DLC for Vampire Survivors, and I put many more minutes into First Descendant this week. Nice. I know, Dathan, you were playing the Contra DLC for Vampire Survivors.
Good.
I probably need to get that.
It's good. It's there's a lot of content for how much it costs. I think it was only $2, and there's quite a bit of stuff on there. It's well worth it.
Yeah. Cool. Travis, did you play any video games last week?
Yeah, I beat Hogwarts Legacy last night.
Nice.
Yeah, except it's got the problem. It had the problem that, well, one, it was too long. I mean, like, it kind of wore out its welcome. But then what I'm not a big fan of with games like that is when the game is like just kind of smooth sailing, and then at the very end it ramps the difficulty up for 15 minutes.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
That bothers me with certain games, and I don't know why they do that. That's one thing that I'll give Elden Ring credit for. It was basically the same difficulty all the way through. So either you liked it or you didn't, and you can figure that out pretty much straight away, right? I didn't like the cheap shotting in Elden Ring, but the bosses were all basically, I mean, there were some that were harder, but none of them were surprisingly difficult. Whereas in this game, I felt like at the very end, it was like, what game is this? And where was this the rest of the 40 hours I put into it, right? So anyway, that's my final thoughts on it.
Dathan, any video games last week, sir?
Yes, I finished Sea of Stars finally.
Nice.
And I played some Doom 1 and 2 on Game Pass, and some Nintendo World Championships. Not as much as Nintendo World Championships as I would have liked to, but I tried to squeeze in at least a half hour every other day if I could. So stupid. I hate this one. I wouldn't go that far. Some of them are pretty annoying, but yeah.
Yeah, he's in a bad mood, everybody. So yeah, try to cheer up Dathan for whatever reason.
I am totally calm and fine. It's my weekend starting today, so it's good. It's gonna be a good day.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the peer pressure, a-hole. That's what. I'm never gonna let that one down, am I?
Oh God. Yeah. Seeing Spirits, how you doing, sir?
Yep.
He's a big fan of the soundboard.
We all are.
Yeah, Eric, did you play any video games last week, Eric?
I did. I played Nintendo World Championship a bit, and now that I'm a member of Chris's family, I'm able to play the Nintendo Switch library of old platform that they release. And I realized I'd never played Link's Awakening. like the OG Game Boy Color Link's Awakening. So I started playing that, and I'm about halfway through.
Nice.
And
So
I have
after you play that version, you got to play the remake,
the, the, the,
remastered
the Switch version. Yeah.
Fantastic.
That's what I was thinking. So yeah, that's been fun. I have kind of a policy that for Metroid and Zelda, I don't look at any cheats. Like I try to figure it out on my own, and like I'll old school ask friends. So that's my workaround, and they'll probably look online and tell me. But I don't look online myself. So I'm stuck, but I'll figure it out.
Yeah. No, that's good. I like that strategy actually, because you can just look up everything online if you
Sure.
really want to just cheat your way through games, and it's a good
And
way to just keep your
for newer
mind
games,
sharp.
for new games, I'm not like that at all. It's just these games, this series of games is super nostalgic for me, and part of
Yeah.
the nostalgia is being stuck. Because we did. What would you do in 1986 when you were stuck in Zelda? You just keep grinding. Your mom's not going to let you call Nintendo Power again after the $50 bill she got last time. So
Right.
yeah,
Yeah, I was
you're
gonna
just
say
stuck
you did
grinding.
do that.
We did it once,
Yeah,
and then we never did it again.
right. I remember the story.
Yeah.
Did they actually help you when you called them?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We were stuck on Deja Vu, and I've told this story on the podcast before, but
Okay.
it was we were stuck on Deja Vu, and we couldn't see a secret door because the resolution on our 1970 CRT screen was so bad that we couldn't see the outline of the secret door, and so there's no way we really
Oh
could have
yeah,
solved
yeah.
it. Yeah.
That was the number right there.
Yeah. Yeah. I do have a forever home now. Thanks. Sarah McLaughlin was very sad until Chris adopted me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, are you going to get invited to the Bartell family get-togethers now?
We'll see.
That makes some.
That's if we have them.
I thought you
Nope.
used to have a family vacation down in Southern Oregon somewhere. You could invite Eric with you.
Oh,
Let's do it.
Cousin Eric. Hey guys.
Eric's gonna bring all the alcohol for your mother.
oh. So all I get to hear is another beer, another beer, another beer.
I hope she likes
All
playing wizard stuff.
Yeah.
Let me introduce you to my god.
Okay. The main topic tonight: Alien Romulus. I pulled this up because I'm very pleased. 83% on Rotten Tomatoes. Chris, we went and saw it yesterday. I don't know if any other guys, if you did see it, please let us know here. But what did you think, Chris? Was it worth it?
I plan on going back and seeing it again. I thought this one was actually really well made. This is up there with Alien and Aliens in terms of quality, and it wasn't quite as gory as I expected. So I was kind of surprised by that, but it was a tense movie. So I'm not going to share any spoilers about how Bruce Campbell shows up in the movie.
Damn it, Chris.
Thanks for that.
Yeah.
No, there's that one point. I love movies when they do this. It's like the third act, and we're on our kind of edge of our seat. Like, what is happening right now? And there's a jump scare in the movie. Like, I can't remember the last time in a movie
Just one? There's only one? I mean, it's
there's a
alien.
big one.
Sure.
I think there's a couple, but normally I don't react to them like that.
Yeah.
Like this one I did. It was like, whoa.
Yeah.
That was awesome. So for me, I thoroughly enjoyed it. This is the best Alien movie that's come out in years. So we can go into our favorite Alien movies, but if you're a fan at all, I think you guys owe it to yourself. You got to go see it. Like Chris was saying, it's not overly gory, but the story is really well done. The cast, I thought they did a great job casting the movie. The acting is very well. Yeah, you some of the characters you'll really enjoy them. They did a good job. There's this one character who's an android, and he does a excellent job in the movie. Chris, don't you think? The
Yeah.
way the things they can do with him in the movie was great. Um, yeah, is it a theater? I
It's
think it's must see. Chris, I
it's a
almost
theater movie.
um, I almost do I regret not seeing it in IMAX is the thing.
Well, would you pay for the D box seats?
Yeah, maybe.
Is that the one where the seats move?
I think so. Yeah, I think
And
that's
the
what the
alien
direct bill it
actually
is.
infects
That's what I
you,
was
and
thinking. That's what I was thinking about doing was going that route to see what all the hubbub's about.
you actually have to gestate an alien baby, and you can only do the
Chest
experience.
busters.
That's
Everybody in the theater's dead at the end of the movie.
You know, as much as I hate not Covenant, what's the one I hate?
Prometheus.
As much as I hate
Prometheus.
Prometheus, I thought Fassbender did an excellent job, and so that's like the bar for me. The android acting bar is Fassbender. So would you say in this film it was as good as that or better?
I think it's better.
Really, that's fantastic. That's a fantastic
Yeah.
endorsement.
Fassbender, he kind of plays it more human than android. I almost feel like they almost made him too good of an android.
Hmm.
Like he's very. I mean, he's a
See,
robot.
I
but-
thought he was firmly in the uncanny valley for me. Like, it wasn't quite human enough. It just was just unsettling to watch him. That's how I felt watching Prometheus.
This new android, he's got his issues. Like he's missing some programming, so he glitches out.
Okay.
And then he gets an upgrade later on in the movie, and
Spoilers.
oh man, yeah. Sorry, it's worth it.
It's
And
the actor, the guy that they got to play this one, I would
Right.
say kind of falls in line with that whole. You're not quite sure if he's human or android, so he kind of does have that same Michael Fassbender level of acting. And there's such a switch in certain scenes that I'm not sure if there's many actors out there that could have done what this guy did. So I think he was probably one of the highlights of the movie as far as like acting wise.
The way you're describing it reminds me of Split.
I do remember that movie.
I forget the name of the. I know his name, but the Professor X and
James McAvoy.
James McAvoy. Yeah, I thought he was really good in Split, and
Yeah.
that's what you're talking about. This guy reminds me of Split. So,
Well, and then there's that trailer for that See No Evil. Or
yeah,
Speak-
he's in a
Speak No
new.
Evil, which
He looks good in that. He looks scary, like a freaking creep in that movie.
is apparently a remake of a Dutch film that came out 2 years ago. And so I guess if you want to see it before it comes on the theaters, just go watch the foreign version.
Or Eric, just go on one of Chris's family vacations, and you'll get the in-person treatment. And
yeah, sure.
that's just like seeing the movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. See. Yeah. Meeples. I was gonna show. There we go. Yeah. See, he's sold on that family vacation. All right. The question is so where do you rank this, Chris, in the Alien movie? How many? I don't know how many there are. 10 or 9, if you include the Alien versus Predator movies.
There are too many bad outliers. There's got to be a set of Alien movies that are worth ranking that you need to rank within. That's how.
Okay. So I think.
So
Just as
when it comes to the
Go ahead.
Alien movies, it's always the first 4. So Aliens, Alien 3, and Alien Resurrection. Prometheus and Alien Covenant are such outliers, and they're kind of like their own little world.
Well, I don't
Because
think so.
they try to explain way too much that they shouldn't.
But I think Prometheus, and I'll even give it to Covenant, I think they're better movies than Alien 3 and Resurrection. Maybe I disagree. If it's okay if you disagree with me.
I haven't
That's
seen
fine.
him in so long.
Alien 3 is a much better movie than Alien Covenant was. Alien Covenant bored me to tears. I felt it was very much from the onset of the movie. I was like, okay, we don't get to know what happened to Elizabeth Shaw from the last one. That's kind of left out there. And there were a lot of things with that one. I was like, okay, this is where it's going. You could see what was going to happen. So
I don't like in that Alien Covenant, they filmed some scenes that were like the prologue. There's like 2 prologue scenes.
Yeah.
One of them has to do with Shaw with David, but they filmed it for the DVD, and like it was completely missing from the film. So like you
I'm
have to
convinced
actually have the DVD to watch that. Like,
there's got to be a cut of Prometheus that is a decent film and makes sense, but that's not what we got in the theater.
No. I enjoyed Prometheus, but there are a lot of problems with that movie. But I mean, as far as like the first 4 Alien movies, I would say it's Alien, Alien Romulus, then Aliens are kind of where I put them. And
you think it's better than Alien?
Primarily because Aliens has always felt like a action movie to me. It's not a horror film.
Yeah.
And so if I'm looking at these from a purely science fiction horror aspect, Alien is just top tier. And then Alien Romulus, it's back up there with that horror sci-fi aspect. But then Aliens is kind of like this really fun action movie.
There's nothing wrong with it being an action movie. Like it can be a top tier action movie.
There's nothing wrong.
That's what it is.
And James Cameron made a lot of great sci-fi action movies in the 80s and 90s. I mean, Terminator 2, The Abyss, Aliens. These are great movies. But
you're pissing off Meatball Saucy, man.
It's a different genre of film. And then you go to Alien 3, and Meatball Saucy, the prison colony thing was kind of, wonky, but there was a lot of David Fincher's plans for what he wanted to make was kind of there, but it wasn't. So there's a lot lost, but then Alien Resurrection is like just garbage.
Yeah, I remember 3 was one of Fincher's first films, and I there's got to be a story as to why.
Well, there's a whole documentary about it. About David Fincher is an amazing director
for sure
in his own right, but like the studio, from what I understand, is the studio really hampered what Fincher could put out.
Oh yeah, I'm convinced that that's what happened. I'd be curious as to how and why.
They were watching the dailies. They didn't like the cuts that were coming in from, I don't know where they were filming it, in Pinewood Studios in the UK or something like that, and they didn't like what they were seeing. And then they did edits during the movie, like they writing things during filming. I mean, that can never be like
editing the script during the filming.
Yeah, absolutely terrible. Yeah, so. For me, Chris, it goes like this. Alien has got to be number 1. I love Aliens 2, but I almost, for a while, I thought they were very...
The suspense is killing me. Yeah, I guess...
God, he knows how to build tension.
Yeah. On the Pro, there's no more soundboard. So that's good. Does he even know? He might still be talking.
Yeah, still talking.
Yeah.
Well, I'm hoping to see it next week if I can.
Yeah,
I snuck in another show. I snuck in another screening of Deadpool Wolverine
nice.
just so I could catch up on the
Did you
stuff.
catch more on the
Yeah,
second?
that was the point, just to kind of get more.
Nice, man. Nice.
Just to see all the stuff that that I missed the first time, and I did catch a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the closed caption soundboard, which I like a lot better. I gotta be honest. I'm really enjoying it.
Oh,
Oh, that's great.
But yeah, I'm hoping to catch it next week. Hopefully early if I can.
Yeah, they want me to stay away from crowds until the middle of
Yeah.
September. So hopefully it's still playing in a theater. Romulus will be.
Some theaters are playing.
I think, Eric, it's playing in a drive-through or drive-in. Sorry.
Oh yeah, that'd be
in the
that'd be
area.
perfect.
Oh, that would be cool.
That'd be perfect.
Because that's what I was thinking of doing as well, because I'm trying to avoid crowds. But at
Yeah.
the same time, I also
is there a
want to see
drive-in
the
still
theater.
up there?
In Newburgh.
Newburgh.
In Newburgh, I think they do
it
double.
might be playing there. Yeah.
I think they do double features, so they'll probably be playing. Let me look it up.
Yeah, that'd be great.
You'll get It Ends With Us, then Alien Romulus.
I'll show up late.
They won't tell you which one starts first.
Oh damn it!
Yeah.
It's movie roulette.
It depends on who's running the projector that night.
Who's in the booth?
They're doing the double feature is Twisters and Deadpool Wolverine.
Oh,
That'd
so
be a
maybe,
good one.
Maybe Fandango had it wrong, or maybe it's like for next week or something.
Yeah.
I know some theaters are doing a special showing of The Last Starfighter tomorrow.
Yeah, I saw that. That's
and
awesome.
I was really, because that's
That
a
is
movie that I
a
definitely
movie
want
I've
to.
never seen.
I want to
It's a
see
good
that
movie.
in theaters. It's a fantastic movie.
You know, I'd be super interested for Travis to see it because he was old enough to see it back in the day,
Yeah.
but he didn't.
I
And
did
so,
not.
what's it like to watch with fresh eyes?
I haven't seen The Last Starfighter. I haven't seen. I was just talking with somebody about this. The movies that were popular when I was a kid that I never saw. So The Last Starfighter is one. The Never-Ending Story is another. A Christmas Story is another.
That's your trifecta right there.
I did
That's
see
your-
Goonies. I did see Goonies.
Yeah, you got to see.
It feels like I did see E.T., but it feels like I'm missing something else from that era that like everybody's seen but me.
Tremors.
I did see Tremors, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
good.
I was
Tremors,
into
great.
horror flicks, so like I saw those whenever they'd come out. Like I saw Critters and all that stuff, even Ghoulies
Right.
and just all the garbage. You know, like I just was into that.
Critters
But,
is a fun
any of
movie.
Yeah, Critters is good actually.
Yeah.
What was the Ghoulies? Is that
Ghoulies,
the one
yeah.
where it was
Ghoulies,
the,
yeah.
the
The-
monsters
it-
coming out of the toilet?
Out of the
Yeah,
toilet,
yeah,
yeah. Heck yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, the last
With
Last
the- with the
Starfighter is
great
definitely one
punchline.
that I want to check out in theaters at some point.
Oh, War Games. I haven't seen that.
Oh, dude.
Oh.
War Games.
Yeah.
That's like a
Yes.
fundamental computer hacker film.
I
Like
know,
it's
and I haven't
probably
seen
the
it.
first
Right. So
film
that's
that
another one
was
though,
hacker.
right? From like our childhood that I haven't seen.
Yeah, that and Tron were probably
I haven't seen Tron.
the genesis of the computer hacking genre in film.
Yeah, I also haven't
It-
seen Tron. Now, I
it's-
will
it's
say that
such
like
a-
I've seen parts of these things, just not enough to consider like I've seen it, right?
Yes, Breakfast Club
Yeah,
is around that
same.
time frame.
Same
Oh,
time.
also haven't seen Breakfast Club.
Oh, dude, it's genius.
Is it?
It is. I think.
Ferris Bueller's Day
John
Off.
Hughes, right?
John
I haven't
Hughes,
seen
yeah.
that one either.
It's classic.
Yeah.
Wait, I did see Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I think I saw it at your house, Eric.
It's great. It's a great film
Yeah, I think that your brother made me watch it.
because it's a great film. Well, he'll make you watch not great films, but that one
Yeah,
was great.
I would not say that he's a barometer of,
No,
of must-see movies,
no,
right?
no, that's
But
great.
no, I jumped straight into like starting in 3rd grade, 4th grade. I jumped straight into. I jumped straight
Dude, science on
into,
fire.
I jumped straight into horror flicks at that point. You know, like that's when I just was like honing in on just horror films instead.
Speaking of horror films, I just watched Smile.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet. It is on my list of maybe to watch with my kid or whatever.
Oh, that one irritated me.
I think it starts to fall apart in the second half, but in the second act, actually, it starts to fall apart. But there's a thing that I think good horror, well, by my metric of good horror films, a good horror film should, I think, leave you terrified of something mundane, because then you're just going to walk around and see that mundane thing, and then you'll be scared. And in this movie, the title is Smile, so when people smile at you, you're like, hey, wait a second, is that no, it's fine. But for that brief second after seeing the film, you're like, oh, okay.
So you did like it?
I thought it worked
Okay.
as a horror movie, but
Yeah.
like the fiance's acting, I thought was pretty rough. I thought the main character did great. I thought she was great. Some of the writing was a little bit hokey.
It's horror.
And then there were some of the special effects that just didn't maintain my suspension of disbelief. And I'm not talking about the villain per se, but just some of the effects on the people that the villain inflicts that just didn't work for me. But yeah, I mean, as a horror film, sure, watch it, and if it scares you, I'd say it was a successful horror film, and it scared me. It gave me shivers a couple times. So yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
Greetings, programs. Welcome to the grid, Meatball.
The Last Starfighter. Okay, I'm looking at this. So you said watch this one.
A lot of the movies that you named off, they're probably on some streaming services.
Oh yeah.
Disney Plus has Tron.
Most of them are.
Yeah.
Even probably flat out on YouTube, just pirated.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some out there like Dogma you can't find anywhere.
Oh, interesting.
And the reason why is because Harvey Weinstein owns the rights to them.
Oh, speaking of horror and things that you can't find anywhere, that was one that I wanted to watch with my kid, was that first one that the Flanagan guy did, if I've got the right name right. Or
Mike Flanagan?
right. Yeah, the Hush movie. I couldn't find that anywhere, and apparently Google remembered my search because it threw in the news that they're now going to put it on a streaming service finally. But yeah, Netflix played hardball with that and wouldn't let it. They yanked it, and then that was the end of it, right?
Yeah.
What up? My internet just completely glitched out on me.
Yeah.
I think I'm back, so I'm sorry, guys.
No, you're good.
You'll have some sound bites.
Yeah.
We can get into our VHS porno collection. It's back.
I can't tell if Meatball's being serious about. But yeah, I'm sure there are a lot of kids who were scared by movies that weren't necessarily designed to be scary.
Did you? Thank you.
Don't read the transcripts, but yeah.
See, the only movie that's ever truly scared me was the 1939 Invisible Man.
You've mentioned that before, and I still haven't seen it.
And
the one that's interesting that scared you. Why?
It's because of the fact everything's left to your imagination. Because it was during the time where your special effects for the Invisible Man were, a piece of cloth hanging in the air.
Sure.
That was supposed to be like a person walking. So you didn't know what was actually going on. And I think the lack of visual information as a kid to me was just terrifying. Like not knowing what's going on was scarier to me than actually seeing something on the screen.
Sure. Do you read horror books?
No, I don't.
Okay.
You can't read.
I wonder if that
was embarrassing.
I wonder if that would induce the same kind of, because you have to imagine what's happening rather than.
Yeah, no. Most of the stuff I read is Jim Butcher. So the oh god, now I can't even remember the name of that. The Dresden Files that he did, and then there's the Douglas Preston Lincoln Child. Their mystery books I tend to read, but I don't really read horror books too often. Maybe every once in a while I'll pick up me a nice little romance book down at the
I've read some Stephen King before, but that's about as deep as I've gotten for horror.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd call him horror, just because he's got some fascination with like kids, and yeah, I read it for the first time like a month ago, and I was like, dude,
It's disturbing.
what is up with this
Yeah.
this whole getting out of the caves through?
Oh,
Yeah,
Yep, it's disturbing,
Yep.
and that's why. I mean, I haven't seen the movies that they've made out of that book, but I'm guessing they change the way that everything works
yeah.
in the
they
movies,
they
right?
did.
They'd
They did
have to,
change it.
yeah.
They
And
changed
it's
it.
funny that nobody ever mentions that whenever I read reviews, even
Sure.
from Stephen King fans.
Sure.
They're never like, that's not what happens in the book. They never do that.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like he gets a free pass on that. And the movies do too. Um, yeah. So with the Last Starfighter, though, Eric, if I was to watch something like that, that would be hard because I would be watching it as adult me.
Yeah.
And that's
Right.
my
Yeah.
argument that I have against people who watch the new Star Wars movies and rip them to shreds. You're watching them as an adult.
Sure.
That's not like when you saw them as a kid,
Right.
right? So that's why I'm worried that I'd be way too critical with it.
Of course you would. I mean, you're looking
Yeah.
at 40-year-old CGI. And that was the big draw of that
Oh, well,
film.
that actually probably doesn't bother me too much.
Okay,
Oh, if that's the big draw of it, then maybe, yeah. If
Yeah,
it's right.
right.
If it was, yeah.
I mean, it's a
If it was-
fun movie. I think they did some. The actors did admirably with the script they were given, and but yeah, I think the big draw for the film was a lot like Tron. Let's look at this novel use of computer graphics in a film. I think Tron had more interesting ideas, but I think actually Starfighter's probably a better movie and more entertaining. But being an ideas guy, I prefer Tron.
The Explorers. Did you ever watch that one?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that was great.
No, I haven't
Yeah.
seen it.
rented-
we had
I
a-
did see.
that was-
I did see Space Camp.
okay,
If I
yeah,
remember, that
yeah,
was
yeah.
also from that era, right? I
Uh-huh,
did see
yeah.
that one.
That was
Yeah,
back
no,
in
I'm
the day when
telling
you
you,
had to
there's-
rent. We had to rent the VHS player to play the
Yeah.
VHS. the same
Right.
time.
Yeah. And by
We
the
had to
time
do
I
that.
worked at Hollywood Video, in late high school to early college or whatever, or yeah, just to late high school, I didn't have any like desire to go back and watch these. So like I went back and I just started watching all of the horror films that I felt like I missed, like all the 70s horror films that were well reviewed during that time, but I didn't go back to any of like the childhood things because I was like, whatever. What's the point of that? And those are kids' movies.
I remember watching like the Last Starfighter and what was that one you just said, Chris?
Explorers.
Yeah, Explorers. That was like on the ABC Sunday night movie,
Mm-hmm.
and I watched that. I remember watching Wrath of Khan on the Sunday night movie. There's just perfect viewing for like the
There's some
80s
gems.
kid.
Yeah, there's
Just
some
stay
gems.
up late.
But Sunday night movie
Or
that
Sat-
was
or
playing
maybe it was
back then.
Well,
It
maybe it was a
competed
Saturday
with-
night movie. I can't remember, but
Yeah, but that
Yeah.
still would have competed with college football or baseball, and so my dad was
Right.
not having any of that. Sports were on, and that was the end of it, right? So yeah.
Speaking
that's-
of Who Framed Roger Rabbit, my uncle took me and my brother to see that, and yeah, I know exactly which scene you're talking about, Alikrian. Yeah, I can understand how that would freak you out.
Alikrian, original Star Wars and even the prequels felt like the goal was still to entertain. The prequels were more targeted at a younger audience, but the newer trilogy feels like it's a goal is a product.
I do
well-
agree with that sentiment.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're talking on the panel here. One guy camped out for like 3 days to see Phantom Menace.
Yeah, I did.
So,
These are facts. There's photographic.
Well,
proof.
and it's such an interesting thing because if you think about it, the original Star Wars movies were the ones that started toys, the whole toy
Yeah.
line with
Yeah.
movies and everything. So there was like a push for products with that, but they felt separate from the movies. And now the new ones, it's like we design the movie, these aliens, with the intent of selling the
speaking
toy.
of toy,
Oh, is that the popcorn bucket?
yeah,
Yeah.
that's Chris's.
That is kind of
Wait,
cool.
How does that work?
It's got a lid, pops open, and
Oh,
then
okay,
down at
there
the
it is.
bottom there's a.
Oh, okay, yeah, easier to see there than
Oh,
on
wow.
the
Yeah.
picture. Yeah, that's cool.
That is really cool.
I got
So-
one too.
Nice.
Nice.
And it feels like a decent product
Hmm.
Yeah.
compared to some of the popcorn buckets they put out and everything. Darth Maul was the shit back in the day, you know, when
That's a big costume. That's a lot to do for that.
That's a lot
cool.
to do.
Yeah, that's cool.
He must have had the dual lightsaber.
Yeah. I have a Jedi costume somewhere, and that was handmade by an ex-girlfriend of mine. Shout out to
Was
Emily.
it the girl that gave you the kidney too?
No, not Lisa.
No.
Lisa's not a sewer.
Okay.
But yeah, one year, I was just talking to my friend Jeremy about this last night. One year for Halloween, we had a party called Monster Mashup, and so you were meant to like be two things at the same time, two or more things at the same time. And so, for example, my friend Paul was a triage mutant ninja turtle, which he had like a stethoscope and the light on his head, but also the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle costume. So that was his. So I wore my Jedi costume, and full disclosure, my mom was born in Mexico. I'm culturally Mexican. So I wore my Jedi costume and had the sombrero, and I put a fake mustache on, and I was Obi-Wan Kenobi, which I thought was hilarious.
You know, it's funny that you brought up the Star Wars toys. That's what, you know, when the movie came out, the first Star Wars, how they made toys for it and how it's a big deal. But do you guys remember when the Phantom Menace came out? Those toys were shit. They sat on shelves for weeks and
nobody was
Yeah,
buying
they
them.
did.
and months,
Mhm.
and they
Yeah.
were
Well, when they first came, I own quite a bit of them still, and there were some big launch events. I remember going into Toys R Us.
Oh yeah, I
The
remember that.
night they launched, and it was mad. They opened at midnight. It was a midnight
Yeah.
launch.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that.
And like I'd go in there and you try to find, there was like a holographic Yoda, there was a holographic maybe another Jedi or something. Everyone was trying to just going through the pegs trying to find them, and that I think that was even more exciting than the movie, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But yeah, after the movie came out and it got bad reviews, then no one wanted the toys, which was unfortunate. But the hype before the movie came out was real, was palpable,
Mm-hmm.
and that was a fun time. So yeah, I don't know if a movie has come out that's had that kind of like real like, oh my god, I got to see that yet, and they put out toys. I'm trying to think of some. I don't know if anything comes close to that.
The only thing I can think of, and it's not movies, but it was when the last Harry Potter book came out. I was working at Borders at the time, and there was a midnight release party, and there was a line out the door, and people were dressed up, and it was pretty crazy at Borders that night.
Yeah, I remember that one. I'd never read the Harry Potter books, but I do remember people lined up outside Borders.
Now it's probably like when Taylor Swift drops her new album, that's the new thing. They do a midnight launch for that.
But everything's digital, so there's no.
Well, you got to get the record, right? The vinyl. I don't know. I'm not a Swiftie. I know Dathan is probably.
Just go ahead and play your soundboard now. Just stupid. I hate this. Yeah, it was the peer pressure, a-hole. That's what. There we go.
Oh yeah, Chris, we were just talking about this. The Matrix is like going to have a 25th anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
That was such an amazing movie when we went into it. Like that one, we went into it blind. Like I remember seeing the trailer, and you were just saying, Chris, like what is it? In the trailer it said, "What is the Matrix?" And it didn't tell you much of anything.
Yeah, they didn't give anything away in the trailer. It was great.
Going into that one blind. I mean, the internet was only available for it was like, I don't know, it was young. Like I didn't do any spoilers or anything. It was like Such a great movie going into that.
Hmm.
Too bad they didn't make action figures for that. Actually,
So about the spoilers thing, I read a little interview today with the kid. Well, he's not a kid anymore. The child actor in The Sixth Sense, and they were asking him if the studio had any, like, hey, when you go in and you talk about this movie for any of the actors, like, don't ruin anything. And he said that no, they were given nothing, and it's because nobody thought that movie would be successful.
Right.
So like they were just given free reign to talk about whatever, and there wasn't any thought between the actors of like, oh yeah, we don't want to ruin this for people, so we better not talk about anything. He said it just naturally kind of didn't happen. But that is kind of interesting how that, like, if it wasn't for that movie, I wonder if we would be so spoilers worried. Like that was a thing
yeah,
where people would go see that guy's movies opening night just so they wouldn't get ruined for them the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All because that one movie was good. Because the other ones kind of,
Signs was good.
Signs is an enjoyable movie. I thought Lady in the Water. A lot of people didn't like that one,
I
but
didn't like
it was more of a fairy tale than
Sure.
it was about the twist, and then of course happening, which is the greatest thing ever
think
about
that's awful.
trees farting.
That's awful.
I liked Signs when it was called Night of the Living Dead.
Night of the Living Dead. Yeah. All right.
Meatball Saucy console release lines. Yeah, we've talked about this also in the past, but it's definitely not a thing anymore, unfortunately. So
Oh, it's not? I thought that it still was. The console release parties and all that stuff. And the
maybe
lines.
do it at your home, maybe. Like,
Yeah, with the Xbox Series X and then the PlayStation 5, I don't think they had like a midnight release party at
Interesting.
GameStop or any of the places. It was just you either pre-ordered it and were able to get it day one, or you went in and hoped they had consoles in. But yeah, I think the last one I'd been to that they did that was the PlayStation 4. We
Yeah.
went and because at the time my brother and my dad owned a video game store, and so we had gone in to buy consoles so we'd have them on hand, and so we were there at midnight before launches. But yeah,
Interesting.
it really doesn't happen that way anymore.
yeah. Speaking of video games, this might be a transition. Next week, well, should I go? Yeah, I'll go into that. Next week, Gamescom. Xbox is going to announce some shit. Anything you guys are interested in? I on Friday they're gonna do something about Indiana Jones. Maybe we get a release date. More Star Wars Outlaws. I don't know. Oh, and the Starfield one. I was gonna pull the video for that. There's now video of they put they finally put vehicles in that game, and you're now can drive in the game, which was badly needed from day one, because in that game you're just like walking from point to point on the planets. They're finally going to add vehicles, but it's like a year or two late now. But I'll be interested to check it out.
I find it interesting that they have Diablo Immortal build like second on the Wednesday agenda, like in gold,
That
when that
is,
game
yeah.
failed miserably on mobile, right?
Well, did it fail
Yeah.
miserably? Because I bet you they still made money on it.
Well, they may have, but fans weren't. I mean, I guess people are
Yeah,
foolish and
people
they'll
are
just
pissed
say
off about
whatever.
it.
But
Don't you have
yeah,
a phone?
Don't you have a phone?
Yeah. No, they really want to start pushing their mobile
yeah, and I mean
division
that's
for
part
sure.
of it too, right? Yeah, it's on your phone already.
Well, it's all about, it maybe the game was bad originally, but course correct. That's
Yeah,
all it
maybe. I
is
mean,
now.
hey, that can happen, you know.
It's like we'll fix it, I guess. Fix it later on.
But like, I think you would have wanted to build Forza Horizon 5 higher, but I don't know.
Well, so here's an article as of June of last year. Diablo Immortal made $525 million in its first year.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
For a free to play game to make 525 million means there's people out there throwing money into it.
Yeah.
I'm curious. Yeah, how much did Diablo 4 make?
I'll be right
I
back.
wonder. I bet you the mobile one is better. Is higher.
Yeah, well,
With lots
and
of-
I wonder if they're going to announce that it's coming to PC or,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think I'm more interested in what the and more is that they're going to announce on each of those days, because almost all of these games they've already shown off, and they announced earlier.
Oh, there's Little Nightmares 3. Yeah, good call, Lecrian.
Yep, No
No
Man's
Man's
Sky.
No
Sky
Man's
had a
Sky
rough launch,
did
but
have a
they
rough
definitely
launch.
course corrected on that one. It's almost like a completely different game now.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard. Is it's like unrecognizable almost, right?
And I haven't played it, but in VR, that's where
Mhm.
that game really shines now.
Yeah, I believe it.
Well, and that's a case where the CEO of the company came out and he promised all these things at launch.
Yeah.
And I think at this point they've probably kind of fulfilled all those promises they said they were going to have. It really is a case where he should have just not said anything to begin with.
I don't know if you remember Peter Molyneux, the guy who made Populous, Black and White, those games. That was that guy's problem too.
Yeah.
Like every time he would go out to the gaming magazines and be like, "I'm gonna make a game and it is going to do everything," and he would list off like all these crazy things, and then you'd go get it, and it'd be like, "Okay, so it's SimCity again." Or whatever, right? Like it was always he always under delivered on what he had. So yeah.
Well, they had that one game on the, what was it, the Xbox One, where it was you were supposed to be able to, was it Milo, I think? Yeah,
Oh,
Project
yeah.
Milo, where you were going to be able to like play with this digital kid, so you could like take and hand him a piece of paper, and like there were all these promises that Peter Molyneux was like, yeah, this is going to be amazing because you'll actually be able to like spoon feed them, like give them tea and everything, and it will show up in the game world. So whatever you have in the real world, the whatever that Xbox camera system was, I can't remember the name.
The Kinect.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, Avowed might be kind of cool. That's one that I kind of had my eye on because it was Obsidian did that one there, or is working on that one, right?
And it's been delayed.
A lot, right? Like, it actually didn't it just get delayed this week again, like into next year or something?
Yeah, till February, I think
Until
is what they
February?
said.
Yeah, so I guess maybe that'll be their big announcement on Friday.
Oh, and here's the other thing. It's rumored that one of these, or some major Microsoft game, is going to go to PlayStation. Any predictions on what that might be? I was hearing there was talks that it might be Forza. I heard the other day that someone thinks Microsoft Flight Simulator might go to
That would be the one I
PlayStation.
was thinking, yeah.
Diablo 4 is already there.
Mhm.
I don't know if Starfield's going to go there yet.
I wonder if they'll try and reinvigorate Halo Infinite by making it PlayStation available.
I don't see it. I can't see them doing that.
Is Overwatch Xbox exclusive, or is it's shared console, right?
I gotta think Overwatch is, yeah.
Okay.
Keyboard Chris, he'll find out.
Oh.
Nice. No typing on his end.
I don't think that was me. I think that was the
That was
soundboard.
that was me. Sorry. I have a clicky keyboard.
Everyone's got a clicky keyboard now. Good. So there's this Xbox Gamescom thing, and I also want to point out too, if you guys didn't see, I did get an invite to go to Germany I did get a ticket to this event, but it didn't include plane or hotel, which would have been something really expensive. So I did not accept it.
Sure.
But it would have been cool. And then my passport is expired, so that's the double whammy.
Dude,
But
come on.
yeah,
So
wah,
American.
wah, wah. But there's this, and then I think Jeff Keighley, Chris's number one fan, or yeah, Chris, you're the number one fan of Jeff Keighley. He's going to be doing some kind of event in Germany too. So there might be some other new games to talk about next week. So yeah, it should be good. I wanted to talk about transitioning now. Let's see.
Rated M for mature.
Turn the volume down. Stop this. I know. I think Chris, did you see this one?
Yes, I actually pre-ordered this.
This looks really cool. Two new games in one. We're starting to get in the Halloween spirit now. Literally, with Halloween. Plus, Ash versus Evil Dead. What
is it? Just a side scroller beat 'em up? Is that all it is?
They're supposed to be platformers.
Oh.
So,
what system are you going to get this on?
I believe
I'm thinking Switch.
I believe that's what I bought it for, was the Switch. I bought the deluxe edition. But
yeah, you get some kind of a doll or a Halloween mask, don't you?
It's interesting to me that they've got Laurie Strode from Halloween when it's Friday the 13th and
I wonder if there's going to be new characters that they haven't announced yet.
Well, I think it's supposed to be the start of a series, so they're going to add more games at some point.
Yeah, it's going to be a live service game, dude. And you got to pay monthly to get in, I bet.
Yeah.
But
What are we talking about? The Laurie Strode Friday the 13th. There's no Friday the 13th.
No. Laurie Strode's from Halloween. Michael
Right.
Myers is from Friday the 13th.
No, Michael Myers is from Halloween.
Jason Voorhees and the mother was
from
Friday the 13th.
God.
Spoiler.
What an ugly thing to say.
You failed your geek check.
I did.
Yeah, you did.
We can get into our VHS porno collection.
Ash has me sold.
Yeah.
I figured that would get me, Paul.
I wonder if they're going to do a physical copy of this. I'm sure it'll probably be limited run again.
I saw it. Target,
okay.
Target and I think it was Best Buy. They have them, I think.
But maybe you could get this copy signed in person with what's
Bruce
his
Campbell.
name? Yeah, Bruce Campbell.
Yeah, this is the special collector's edition that they put up.
I do like the VHS style. That's pretty cool. The old
That's
school
pretty
thing.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with that doll? Are you going to put it in the back of your car?
Well, since I failed the geek test and everything, I'm just going to have to give up on life. And
Hang it above your bed to remind you who's who.
To Goodwill.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, did you guys see that? I think my son is excited for this game. Let's see. Pull this up. Oh, turn the volume down. Hot Wheels monster trucks.
Yep.
Yeah. Skeletosaurus. Thrilling bosses. Yeah. I don't know if you played the last two Hot Wheels games. They're okay. It's nothing like Forza or anything, but yeah, it's
Different
good
goals,
game to keep my kids busy.
Sure, yeah.
It's coming to all systems October 18th.
I think they announced this because The Rock is doing a Hot Wheels Cars movie that they announced at D23.
Oh,
No, he's
really?
doing a Monster Jam movie.
I thought it was Hot Wheels.
God, The
No,
Rock is in everything now.
It's Monster
Oh, you're
Jam.
right. You're right. You're correct. You made up for your.
That was embarrassing.
You're back in the club.
What an ugly thing to say.
Yeah, no. And The Rock is one of those guys that he plays the same role in every movie he does nowadays.
Yeah, what's
He's
the
a-
trailer
he's a
that we
bad
just saw,
actor.
Chris? That he's in. That
Red One.
Yeah, he's trying. They're trying to save Santa Claus.
That actually looks kind of good. It looks kind of.
No, it doesn't.
Yes,
It looks terrible.
Terrible can be good.
Maybe.
It looks like a movie.
But also in October
mean-
is Dragon Age.
Veilguard,
That
yeah.
really stayed up, yeah. So I don't know. Hot Wheels, might have a run for its money there with Dragon Age. Might encroach on its revenue.
It's probably two different demographics of people going to be playing these games. I don't know if the Hot Wheels, the hardcore Hot Wheels players are going to be playing Dragon Age, but I could be wrong.
Dragon Age could have taken a hard enough left that maybe it's got some car racing in it now.
And then I also wanted to touch on too. I know Dathan. I think you were interested in that Evercade arcade machine. What was that thing? A portal machine? Whatever.
I was really harping on it to begin with, and I started doing a little bit more research on it. And it's not as bad as I thought it was. It's not terrible.
But
knowing that they're able to utilize all of the Evercade stuff that's come out with it, so that's kind of a positive.
Would this interest you? They just announced this Legacy of Kain and Soul Reaver
Honestly,
coming to Evercade.
I don't think I ever played Soul Reaver.
What?
I don't think I ever did. I do like that a lot of these games are only you get 2 or 3 games per cart, and I think they're only $20, right? $25.
Yeah,
give or take.
So I think for me, like if they had announced this before, they're rumored to be doing like a full on blown Soul Reaver remake. I don't think they officially announced that, but I think Eidos or someone's making one. If I hadn't heard any of that, I would have been more inclined to buy this. But I think there is going to be a remake coming. Someone's working on it. If they hadn't announced that, or they haven't announced it, but if the rumors weren't, they're pretty strong rumors that they're doing it. If we hadn't heard this, then maybe I would have been more tempted to go after this. But right now, I'm just gonna wait and see if people like it. I still have Soul Reaver for my Dreamcast. Yeah, it was really good on Dreamcast because it originally was on PlayStation, but they upscaled the graphics on Dreamcast. But nah, you guys need to play Soul Reaver. So good.
I saw Legacy of Kain, and the first thing I thought of was The Legend of Cage, the NES game, and I was like, "How is this related to that?" And it's not. It turns out I was just remembering things wrong.
Right. Yeah, that's what happens when you get older.
I know, yeah, that is what's happening a lot right now.
No, God!
Yeah, I just don't buy into Evercade. Okay, Meatball Saucy is not a fan yet. So I don't know. What were we talking off when it cut off? If you guys
You
want to
said
talk?
that Alien and Aliens were.
And then it cut off. Okay, I was gonna say
Yeah.
I think Alien is number 1 in my book. Then close second is Aliens. I think I would put Alien Romulus number 3.
Okay, I suspect I'll be the same way. Yeah.
Number 4. See, this is
Alien
where it
versus
gets
Predator.
dicey.
Yeah.
No. I
No AVP.
I think I got to put Prometheus up there. I know that it's got some issues. For right now, I'm penciling it in as number 4. This is a good topic. 5, I think I got to put Alien Resurrection. 6 would be Alien. Okay. 6 might be Alien Covenant. 7 might be Alien versus Predator. 8. Am I missing it? Alien Covenant, then Alien 3, then Alien versus Predator Requiem. Did I get them all?
My prediction is going to be Alien, Aliens, Romulus, Predator. Let's just skip all the other Alien movies.
We'll just put it in Predator.
The end.
Now, if you include Predator,
no.
The original Predator, that could be better than Aliens.
What about Predator 2? You know,
No.
I've never seen Predator 2.
really.
What?
Yeah, I have seen Predator 2.
Never
There.
I
Take
I
that.
thought
Finally,
I
a
thought
movie I've
Predator
seen.
2 it's an interesting movie. When it first came out, I wasn't
Thank you,
impressed
Meatball.
with it. But I think as time has gone on, I've actually come to like Predator 2 almost as much as the first Predator. I don't care for the late Predator movie, though, where it was like, we got to weaponize autism because that's why the Predators are coming to Earth, is so they can get autistic kids.
I didn't get any of that watching Prey, but
no, not Prey.
I haven't seen Prey yet. Yeah,
I've
heard it was good though.
Prey's all right. Yeah.
Did you know that this Alien Romulus they were gonna port it to Hulu, just like they did to Prey, and Disney 20th Century Studios or whatever decided to put it in the movie theater. Thank God they did. Prey was a great movie, but it should have been in the theater.
I think.
Although for Eric, I think he it's
What?
too bad that they did, because then you could watch it now.
Yeah, it's too bad they did
Yeah.
put it in theater. Otherwise, I could
Right?
watch
Yeah.
it. True.
Yeah. He's the one guy.
Yeah. No. Amber Midthunder in Prey. I thought she's really good in everything I've seen her in. So I thought she was good in that too.
No, it was the Predators, the one I was talking about.
Oh, are you gonna?
Which was,
that one is that Adrian Brody or who's in that one?
No, that was Shane Black came back to do that one.
Oh, that's the director. Yeah.
And it was, God, who was in that one?
I was thinking the actors. Well, there's Predator 2, and then there's Predators. Predator.
Olivia Munn and Thomas Jane were in that one. Oh, and Jake Busey, because you got to bring back a Busey for a Predator movie.
Yeah.
No, I gotta look at it.
I mean, I'm not going to stop her. It's fine. If that's what she wants to do with her time.
Yeah.
Okay, there's the Predator, and then there's
but
Predators.
Predators was the one that had
Predators is okay. The Predator is bad.
Yeah, the Predators a pretty bad movie. I thought Predators was a pretty interesting take where they had a planet.
Yeah, right.
That they bring everyone to and they hunt on. But yeah, no, the Predator was pretty bad.
Yeah, the Predators is the one with Adrian Brody in it. It's got Lawrence Fishburne, Topher Grace. That guy isn't good in anything though. Danny Trejo's in it. That's why I like that movie. Danny Trejo's in it.
What are you talking about? Topher Grace was great as the Venom.
He was in. I saw him in like one thing that I thought he was okay in. I think it was an episode of Black Mirror he was in, if I'm remembering correctly, and he was okay in that because he played kind of a douchey guy. and he was doing
Yeah,
it
that
just right.
fits that perfectly. Yeah.
Oh,
But I want to hear other. So I think Eric, you said your ranking. Did Dathan? Do you want to give your ranking of these kind of movies?
In which multiverse are we talking here? Because we started with aliens and then
I
we
crossed the
switched
streams.
over.
I crossed the streams. I'm sorry.
So now you can
Everyone just
include
kind of
Ghostbusters.
spider
I looked in the
off into their
trap.
own
I
thing.
crossed the streams.
I don't really know where we're at. So
You can throw Ghostbusters in there if you want.
Yeah,
to,
yeah,
I think.
right.
You might as
Just
well.
rank. Just if you just want
Ghostbusters
to rank.
2,
Yeah.
Alien.
All right. Let's,
Ferris Bueller's Day Off,
Yep, throw it in there.
Tron.
Die Hard. Get that in
Uh-huh.
there.
it's not a Christmas movie.
Well, if we're throwing Christmas movies into the whole thing,
Yeah,
It's not a Christmas movie, is what I'm saying.
If I had to do the Alien movies, I would do. Well, I haven't seen Romulus yet, so I would probably do Alien, the first one, then Aliens, then obviously I haven't seen Romulus, then probably Resurrection, because I most likely will be slotting Romulus in that third slot because from what everybody's saying, it's fantastic. So it's probably going to be third or fourth or two, who knows. And then I kind of stopped there because Prometheus and those movies, I didn't like them. They weren't very good. So I'll just do a top four, and then that'll be it.
Yeah.
And then if we can spider off, we can branch off into the Predators and do Predator, the first one, and then Predator 2.
You really liked Prey, though.
I would put Prey number 3.
Okay.
And then maybe the Predator after that. Then you're going to start getting to like your AVP and stuff like that, and those will taper off into the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
But
what about Look Who's Talking?
Once I see once I see Romulus, I'll have a better list, and then I can look up what like the timelines and what everybody else thinks, and
Oh, you know what the tie-in is? It's Blade Runner, because isn't Blade Runner in the same universe as Predator?
No.
It's one of those.
No,
Or Alien?
because Blade Runner is 100 years before the aliens, I think.
There's some tie-in. I need a keyboard. Chris will look it up. There's some tie-in there. I know Ridley Scott directed both original movies, but Travis, do you have a ranking?
Yeah, I do now. Before I didn't really care. But first is Prometheus, because
No.
Eric hates it so much. Yeah, for sure now. And as a matter of fact, I think I'm going to have a Prometheus party once you get your immune system back.
Yeah,
and you can come over and we can watch it.
Yeah.
No, I don't remember Prometheus too much. I don't remember disliking it, though, strongly. I think I found it rather boring. For me, it's Alien, and then it would be Aliens. I haven't seen Alien 3. I did see the fourth one, and I didn't think that was very good. But it's Alien is way up here, and then Aliens is way down here. And if you were to throw these other movies that we talked about in there, like Predator for sure is a better Aliens than Aliens is. Like it's for an action film, it's better. And I think it's held up better. Because when I rewatched Aliens 5 years ago, I thought the acting was so dated and so stuck in 80s action movie, like it just ruined it for me.
Yeah, it's hard not to think of like Terminator and Aliens
Terminator would be
in the
if
same.
you were to throw action movies of the 80s in that, because Alien was a horror film, and it was a horror film. It was a body horror film, and it was tense, but not a lot going on. Right? It was really good with the suspense. Aliens, on the other hand, I mean, I enjoyed it as a child, but it just, when I rewatched it not long ago, I just thought, wow, this is really dated. My memory of this is way off as to what it was. I held it in too high of regards, and so I was disappointed. But yet, Predator holds up because it just was just an action. I don't know. It holds up. It's, for some reason, it's different to me. I don't know.
Okay. I want to say too, Alien.
Oh, Spaceballs. That's in there.
Spaceballs. There you go.
Yeah, Spaceballs.
Universe.
Is in there, yeah.
Same,
Jaws. Don't forget Jaws.
No, but Spaceballs had the alien,
has
the alien scene.
Right.
At least it's in the metaverse.
Yeah, it had John Hurt in it, or yeah, whoever that actor is.
Yeah, John Hurt.
But I was gonna say the one scene in Alien that I don't like is when Ash gets his head cut off, and then they're talking to him like his
Oh
displaced
yeah, yeah.
head,
Is
and
displaced
then
head, yeah.
Spoilers, by the way.
but yeah,
If
if you
you
haven't
haven't
seen
seen
it,
that movie from the 70s, your spoilers thing is ran off.
but
You're done.
the technology at the time, I don't know, they couldn't cut it right, like,
Yeah.
and then they shoot it with a gun again or whatever, and
Uh-huh.
they clearly go to like a fake head,
Yeah.
and that always
Yeah.
takes me out.
Oh,
So
interesting. Okay.
if there was one scene I think they could fix, maybe you
Oh
don't
no.
fix it.
Maybe we let George Lucas have his hands on it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Put Jar
that's
Jar.
the
Have
one
him
scene
do
I
a
don't like.
remaster.
I don't like an Alien is that one scene.
Fair enough.
So it's apparently the corporation is the tie-in between Blade Runner and Alien.
Oh,
Wait, is it
Wayland
Wayland?
Yutani?
Wayland Johnson.
Wayland Technology? Is that what it
Yeah.
is? Is that
Yeah,
what
wait-
you mean, like in the movie?
Wayland Yutani. Yeah, well, it's the Tyrell Corporation in Blade Runner, but it's supposed to be set 100 years before Alien.
Right.
So Ridley Scott's like, yeah, the tie-in is the Tyrell Corporation eventually becomes Wayland Yutani.
100 years later, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
So,
I actually never put those two together.
and
Like,
then
I
of
just-
course,
when I watched them, I just watched them.
next year there's the TV series Alien Earth that comes out that's supposed to be prior to Prometheus, which is supposed to be focusing on the Wayland Yutani origins, the corporation and everything.
That could
And
be
that's
good.
and that's being done by Noah Hawley, who did Fargo,
Mhm.
the
The
TV
show.
series.
Yeah.
So might be a good one.
I like that stuff about the corporation being evil. Like the corporation is definitely evil in this new movie.
Sure, of course.
I mean,
wanna
they
work
get
for 'em.
really evil. Like it's good. Like that's the real driving force behind some of these. So if they do like a TV drama with that kind of stuff, it could be good. And I think in that TV show, what they need to do is show AI going bad and them developing robots and
Sending
for
him back in
nefarious
time and killing
uses.
John Connor. I mean, that'd
Yeah,
be great.
there you go. Yeah, exactly.
There's a movie in there somewhere, I'm pretty sure.
There probably is time travel.
This actually reminds me. I tried Alien Isolation in VR, and then I got kind of bored. Well, not bored with it, but I just got tired of wearing the unit when I was playing the game. I'm almost wondering whether I should play that now that I'm done with Hogwarts Legacy, like just standard in pancake mode, as they call it in the VR world.
If you want to play it on Xbox, I believe it runs at 60 frames a second and it's really smooth. But it's also on Nintendo Switch, and it plays great on there. So if you want to play it handheld,
But it's a good. It's worth it, right? Like it's a good game. It holds up. You think?
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
If you're playing it on your TV, turn the lights off and just start playing that, and it's gonna be awesome, dude. Like
Okay.
really good.
Yeah, I
If
mean,
you-
I
if
tried
you
it in
like
VR.
Alien.
I played it for a couple hours in VR, but then I just, like I said, just constantly having to put on the headset and all of that just kind of takes, requires effort. And half the time when I game, I don't want to necessarily put in the effort that way.
Thank you for coming on, Meatball Saucy. Appreciate you being in the chat.
Yeah, have a good weekend.
Oh, Alikrin says it plays best on the N gauge. Okay, cool. I did not know that. I didn't even know it was on the N gauge. Maybe he's joking with me.
I think the N Gauge had 9 games, and the only one I know is Duke Nukem 3D.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I'm
So-
surprised they didn't get Duke Nukem Forever on there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And Tomb Raider was on there.
Huh.
A version of Tomb Raider.
These sounds like all games that were on the Evercade.
I mean, it could be a direct port. Who knows?
Yeah. All right. Well, any final thoughts, you guys? This has been a good movie episode. Let me just say, like, I I am so it's so nice to have a good alien movie come out, and I feel a lot of the positive buzz. It just makes me feel good inside. Literally, like I coming out of that movie last night was amazing, and the theater wasn't packed, but seeing from the people that were there, we really enjoyed it. And walking out of there, we're like, "What the heck did we just watch? That final act, something." So, Chris, I mean, just like that was an experience. I'm glad I shared with you, dude. Like
Well, and there
that
were
was
a lot of
cool.
people that clapped at the end of the movie.
Yeah,
And
have you ever had an alien movie where they clap at the end?
Huh. That's cool.
That's always a weird thing to me when it comes
They
to
didn't clap at the end of Prometheus, did they?
movies.
No.
Any
People
of
do
them.
not
Anytime
clap
they
at the end.
clap at the end, I don't get it.
It's different when you go to like a play and you're clapping for people
Sure,
there.
yeah,
Right.
but
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of get it because the whole point of watching.
Yes,
I'm
there
not, maybe
was.
not the whole point, but one of the big points of watching a movie in the theater is sharing the experiences with strangers, right?
Sure.
Mhm.
And clapping
for
at
me.
the end of it initially strikes me as silly to clap at the end of a film, but you're also signaling to your fellow patrons that you enjoyed what was happening, and they are signaling back to you, yeah, I also enjoyed it. It's just people wanting human connection at the end of the day, and
Yeah, but I don't agree that that's the reason to watch.
Travis
a movie
doesn't
in
like
the
human
theater.
connection.
Correct.
right,
Not
yeah,
not in a theater. I
I've
prefer
met
it
Travis.
by myself. I prefer it by myself, and I still don't go to movies with my wife. I just go by myself.
sure.
To get
I'm talking about normal human people.
Get it on.
Normal human
Get it
people.
on.
I forgot I had that sound. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I get it. I mean, I understand what you're saying. It's a weird thing to
Oh,
me.
it's weird,
me
but
too,
humans are
yeah.
weird.
We are
That is
weird.
true.
I mean, if you want to run up to somebody and give them a hug at the movie after it's over, I guess that's okay.
I wouldn't endorse that. No, I wouldn't say it's like if you ask for permission and you get it, maybe it's okay.
I thought it was fun too. Like we're sitting in that row, Chris, and we had that popcorn bucket. Two of us had that popcorn bucket, and then the guys next to you all had that popcorn bucket. And then I'm seeing next over there, like that guy has the same damn popcorn bucket. Like you had the choice. You could have got the other one too, which I did. But we all had the same ones. Like maybe they ran out or whatever. But it's like, oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Sure.
Yeah,
We're all geeks here.
that's a bigger head than I thought it was. You know, when we got to the theater and they had that popcorn bucket.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was as big as it is.
Oh, it's an alien head.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
That's
pretty cool.
That's cool.
Just turn it around the other way, Ryan. Show them the
No,
real.
I
reason
made a
you got-
YouTube short about it.
Haven't seen it yet.
I don't want to get this channel banned by violating YouTube guidelines.
But I agree though that the clapping thing, all jokes aside about the human connection and all that, the clapping thing still it didn't make sense to me because the filmmakers aren't there. I mean, maybe they are. Then you're kind of lucky that you got to watch it. But who's listening to your yay, good job.
What other
everybody.
movies have they clapped at the end of? I remember them clapping
The
at the
ending
end
of Phantom Menace when I saw it with
No,
Eric.
are you serious?
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. And Eric did too. He's guilty
Eric
of it. I
did?
was sitting right there. Yes, he stood up and clapped. And they
Wow.
looked and
Don't
hollered at the
Standing
beginning
ovation?
part.
Yeah, I remember Phantom Menace. There were people that clapped and cheered at the end of that one.
Yep. I didn't
My
get
God.
it then. And I didn't think it was that bad. I
Oh.
was just too tired. It was like 4 a.m. Come on.
Chris,
let's
was
get
it weird when Ryan tried to kiss you instead of clap?
it.
No, it was weird when he tried to grab my butt when he was doing that. But
Oh. Okay.
yeah, no, it like I understand the whole human connection thing in movies.
Yeah.
But I mean, Phantom Menace was one of those weird ones where I was like, why are people clapping at the end of this?
I remember people clapped at the end of Avengers Endgame
Yeah,
for sure.
people did. Yeah, I remember that.
After spoiler alert, Iron Man dies or whatever, they were really emotional at the end of that one. I'm trying to think what else people clapped at.
I think it was Infinity War when I saw that one in the theater. There was a lady there that was like, "What's going on? I don't understand." As the movie's going on, and it's like, who's the big purple guy? Shut up and watch the movie.
I saw Black Swan in the theater, and I went by myself, so it's me in there, and I went during the matinee because it was getting such overwhelmingly positive reviews, right? So I go at like through 2 in the afternoon or whatever, and it's me and a bunch of blue-haired old ladies. And the funniest thing is, so I'm watching it, and that movie starts getting a little promiscuous or whatnot, right? And it's quiet though in it, and then I hear the old ladies behind us go like, "Oh my, I didn't realize it was this kind of film." And then I turned around and they were gone. It was just me at the end of it, just leaving that theater by myself. All the blue hairs, they were gone after a couple scenes.
Have you seen there's reaction videos of people like going into Deadpool and thinking that the movie was just completely immoral, and they're making a videos like, I can't believe, how could they make this movie or whatever, like
It's hard
Well,
to take those on good faith, right?
that has to be a bit
Yeah,
because
it's a bit.
now
No, I don't
the
think
first
so.
Deadpool I would get it because that's
Sure.
the first like R-rated comic movie.
But there's
But
3 of them now.
there's 3 of them now, and everybody knows.
You would
Yeah.
think, but I don't know. This like
It's a bit.
they're
It's a
saying
bit.
It's
this
got to
is
be a bit.
them talking about when they talk about Deadpool being the Marvel Jesus or whatever. That's when they lost it.
Huh.
There was one I'd seen earlier that was it was a gentleman was coming out of a theater, and the lady was like on her phone, and he's like, "Did you enjoy the movie?" And she's like, "What?" And he's like, "Did you enjoy the movie?" And she's like, "Yeah, I liked it." He's like, "I hated it because you wouldn't stop talking throughout the movie." There's been a couple of them I've seen in the theaters where people are just like talking throughout,
Oh, that's the worst.
Mhm.
and it's especially it makes me laugh whenever there's someone there. It's like leans over to their husband or girlfriend, and they're like, "What's going on?"
Right. Yeah.
Well, no, that's why that actually is the one that annoys me. That's when I started working at the theater, that's when I started watching movies by myself. And I told people like I enjoyed watching them by myself because somebody isn't asking me what's going on or what are they going to do next. Like what's going to happen? I'm watching this for the first time too. I have no
Right,
idea
yeah.
what's going to happen.
Have
That's
you never
when-
seen a movie
Eat your
before?
popcorn.
You watch
Yeah.
it and plot points are revealed, and then you
Yeah.
get to put it together.
The best time to talk during a movie is when you're seeing the trailers. Like I can
Trailers
see,
is fine.
Yeah, sure.
like I'm
Sure.
watching that The Rock movie. Come on, Chris. I'm like, I just turned to you like, that movie's gonna suck, dude.
Or the
Nathan's gonna like it, but it's gonna suck.
And it's
Yeah.
there's a cultural element too, like because as I understand it, if you go to like a Bollywood movie in India, people are talking through the whole film and eating like homemade food, and it's like a whole like thing.
Huh.
It's like a party almost atmosphere, is what I'm told, and it just
Huh.
would not fly here. But I grew up in this environment, in this culture, and if you talk during a movie, I'm going to be upset. So
Yeah, but so as much as I dislike that, MST3K is one of my favorite shows of all time. So go figure.
sure, but those are bad movies. I mean,
Or are they? I don't know.
Have you ever seen people fall asleep at the movie theater? I remember
Yeah,
seeing
me.
Episode 3, Star Wars, and the lady in front of me fell asleep.
sure.
It
I
was
fell
so
asleep
good.
in the middle of that second Hobbit movie, the Lord of the Rings things, the one where the two towers.
two towers,
I fell
yeah.
asleep in that. Yeah,
I
straight
might have
up.
been starting to doze off in one of those Transformers movies, Dathan,
Uh-oh.
with Shia.
I fell asleep during Blair Witch Project on Titanic.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Titanic, I could get. Yeah.
In the theater.
Even
I
Blair Witch, I could get. Yeah.
I fell asleep to that one and woke up when the ship was like sinking. And I actually
Spoilers.
I left I actually
seen it
let out a whoop at that moment when I saw the ship sinking. So I kind of pissed off some people around me.
But you watched all the Twilight movies all the way through. No problem.
I have not finished the Twilight movies, but my God, that's a marathon in itself to watch that shit.
I meant to tell you last week, my brother is like a Twilight person.
Oh,
He's like one of
Oh.
the people who goes to the conventions and does the cosplay and volunteers at the conventions. Like, he's a Twilight person.
Who does he
real?
like better, Jacob or?
I don't know what team he's on, if that's the correct nomenclature.
Yeah, the
I
team.
do not know.
Oh, he's too
This
good.
sounds like he needs to be invited next Friday.
I'll ask Dave
Well,
what he's doing.
when's Chris? When's your video gonna come out?
The first one comes out on Tuesday,
Okay.
and it's 2 hours long.
Oh yeah, people checking their phones. is
Cut
the
that down to
worst
10
thing.
minutes, dude.
No,
Oh yeah, I
uh,
hate people checking their phones. Yeah.
Phones lighting up their big
that
dumb
doesn't bother
faces.
me. Yeah, that doesn't
Oh.
bother me.
I hate it.
Well, I mean, I've only seen a few movies recently in the theaters, so it's
or the people that have their phones turned on and they're sitting there going, "Who has their phone ringing?"
You know what? I would actually like it if they would call and ask somebody what's going to happen next, as opposed to the person next to them. At least that makes sense. Like if they pick it up and they're like, "Hey, I'm in the Barbie movie. What happens next?" I would forgive that. That would be a good use
that's
of the
pretty
phone.
good. That's pretty
Did
good.
you guys remember when laser pointers were all the rage? Like everyone had
Oh
a
yeah,
laser
yeah,
pointer,
yeah.
and then you go into the movie theater and people are shining their laser pointer at the screen.
Mhm.
Oh, jeez. I'm glad that's not like a thing anymore.
Hey,
Hey, Biggie D's here.
DVD's catching the end of it.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's annoying theater etiquette is a thing for sure.
Oh,
And it's interesting too.
I
You
did see
guys used to work at the
Borderlands.
movie theater.
You
Oh,
watched
yeah.
Borderlands.
I
Right.
went and saw Borderlands
Why?
because
It's a video game.
I hate myself.
Yeah.
Did you? Was it
Yeah,
was it as bad as
punishment.
people think? Like what you enjoyed
It's-
it, right?
So Eli Roth, I'm pretty sure, saw some like clips from the first Borderlands game and like, hey, look, these characters are all spouting one-liners. That's what my entire movie's gonna be.
Oh no.
Is everybody's gonna have one-liners, and we want to make it PG-13, so even the violence, there won't be any blood. Like you take an M-rated game and you make a PG-13 movie, and it just the entire thing was like muted.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, this is
It's gonna be so
dull.
embarrassing in the face of Deadpool versus Wolverine being R and being irreverent and being good. You know, at least by box office measures, it's phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So read the room, guys. Make it R. What are you doing?
I don't understand. Like the movie at the end of it and everything, I was like, well, that was certainly a movie. You know, somebody put that, but it's like they never played the video game. They don't understand the story. And then reading, Randy Pitchford is like, guys, give this movie a chance. And it's like, no, guys, don't give it a chance. Stay away from the theater. If somebody drags you in there handcuffed, do whatever you can to break free.
You ever seen 127 days? That's the answer.
Hey,
127 hours, I mean.
Can you guys real quick? Can you guys talk about Tron Ares real quick? Because
Yeah, so
people went crazy. I did a YouTube short this week, and I think Biggie D did one too. Like, just put up a YouTube. We put up a YouTube short about Tron Ares, and people freaking loved it. So it's like
the thing I'm most excited about Tron Ares is Trent Reznor's doing the soundtrack, and I loved his what was the Facebook movie Social Network, right?
Yeah, Social Network.
The soundtrack to the Social Network I think is really, really phenomenal, and so I'm hoping with a Tron backdrop he gets to do some pretty exciting stuff. We'll see, but that's to me that's the most exciting bit of Tron, and I'm a huge Tron fanboy. So we'll see.
It's going to be interesting because Daft Punk's version, their soundtrack for Tron Legacy, was really catchy.
Yeah,
I really like that one, and so it'll be interesting to see how different the soundtrack is for this one.
I have that one on vinyl with like clear white and clear blue discs. It's pretty cool. But yeah, Tron Legacy had a great soundtrack. But
how old is Jeff Bridges? Like, is he going to be in the new one? Right? Like,
he's in the new one. I suspect he's going to just be in the new one as a flashback. I don't think he's going to be a actual living, breathing character.
Or they'll try and do like they did with Tron Legacy, where they just
Yeah, what's your take on Tron Legacy? Like, were you disappointed by it, or uh,
So that's another movie that I bought tickets ahead of time and we waited in line for. Not
oh,
super
okay,
long, but we did wait in
yeah,
line
yeah,
for it. Saw it opening night. The thing, like I said earlier, the thing about Tron, the original film, is it was one of the first, hacker movies, and it had interesting ideas. And I think it executed on those ideas kind of poorly, but the ideas were still interesting enough to keep me interested. Um, Whereas Tron Legacy kind of did the reverse. There was nothing, I think, really new or radical idea wise in the film, but it was done well. Like the soundtrack's amazing, the casting was pretty good, the tech they used to de-age Bridgers was still in its infancy, but it was passable for the time.
mhm.
It was good for the time. Um, the 3D effects were, I don't usually like 3D movies, but I liked watching that movie in 3D. I felt like the effect was pretty good. It wasn't Avatar good, but it was pretty good. Um, but yeah, there just wasn't too many interesting ideas in Legacy other than AI could be people, I guess. I don't know. But
I
yeah,
just saw some clip the other day about how there's one scene in Tron Legacy where the young guy asks the one of the computer ladies to play this game, and she tells him no, I can't play it, and it's because it's a game that computers are notoriously bad at.
Go.
So
So Sam asks Cora to play Go. Yeah.
So that's I like kind of little stuff like that when I hear about it 10 years later, but
Yeah, so there's been some advances in Go AI, and now, if I understand correctly, the best teams in Go are human and AI hybrid teams. Are can beat just computer teams, and they can beat just human teams.
interesting.
If I'm remembering what I read about that correctly.
So, what does Biggie D say? Jared Leto and Jeff Bridges should be good. Jared
Jared Leto,
Leto,
he makes a good villain, but I don't like Jared Leto. Yeah, so
no, yeah, is he going to be climbing skyscrapers and the other movie, uh, that Spider-Man villain?
Morbius.
No, no,
Craven
no,
the Hunter.
Craven. It looks bad.
I don't know anything about it.
He's in that one, isn't he?
No.
Is
No,
that Jared
that's
Leto?
Aaron
All right,
Taylor
all right,
Johnson
all
and
right. I'm getting them. They look similar.
Russell Crowe. Jared Leto was in Blade Runner 2049,
Mm-hmm.
and he was also Morbius. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't like Morbius.
you
Lee
don't
Grant,
want Morbin time.
no. Since Matrix was mentioned earlier, and you guys like small details, did you know Neo doesn't get to talk to Oracle until he takes a cookie from her?
I saw that on I saw that on my Twitter feed actually. Someone posted that.
Interesting. There's a lot of interesting details in that first Matrix movie, for sure. Another Seeing Spirits, another movie no one asked for, just like Madam Web. Oh, that was Chris's favorite movie. That's the next one I want you to do a review on.
I already
Well,
did.
no, you already did do a review on that
Yeah.
one. All right.
Yeah. So, The
We
Crow
can give
comes
him
out
their
this next
VHS
week.
porno collection. You know,
Who's excited about The Crow?
Oh,
Nobody.
Dathan's gonna go see The Crow.
That is entirely inaccurate. That is not going to happen.
Who doesn't want to see a movie that looks like somebody was like, "This is
So
what
stupid. I
cops are
hate
like."
All right, I'm gonna end the show there. It's been an interesting, good movie show. So maybe
Mhm.
we need to have more of these kind of movie shows. So when does Transformers come out? I need to do a Transformers show for
September, I think. Right?
It's next month, the middle of next month.
yeah. So let's plan on that. I think, and everyone go follow. Oh, Biggie D doesn't like it either. Jeez.
You'd be hard pressed to find someone who does, I think.
Everyone, give this video a like. Consider subscribing if you're not already. I'm sure all of you guys are, but I do appreciate you guys. Yeah, let's do more movie shows. And go follow Asa Jack's Media Grounds on YouTube because he's going to be putting out his video on the Twilight movies. And it should be good. 2 hours long. I don't know. Well, we'll see what happens. Dathan 8-Bit Gaming Legend, you're on Instagram. And yeah, I appreciate you guys. We'll be back next Friday. Talk about Gamescom next week. And then the next week, we're going to go to PAX, Dathan.
Mm-hmm.
That is coming up quick.
Yes.
So, yeah. Oh, yeah. You missed the best part. My internet crapped out 10 minutes into the show. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. I'm out in my garage, and I'm hooked up to Wi-Fi. So if the Wi-Fi goes out, we're in trouble. But anyway, we're still doing okay. Thank you, everybody. Peace out.